You think Among Us is a simple whodunit where you find the killer and everything's dandy? Life ain't a fairy tale, boy. The lore behind Among Us unveils a harsh reality, one that involves fanaticism, exploitation, and slavery. In this dark and endless tunnel, though, there is a light to keep you hopeful, one that refuses to be choked out. You know things are bad when I have to use my headphones as my hairband. So hit the three buttons, it'll really help me out a lot. I won't tell you what they are, but they rhyme with shite, government, and must bribe. You guys can figure it out. Now let's get straight into the video. Now there are two sides in Among Us, the bad guys or the imposters whose goal is to kill everybody. And there's the good guys, the crewmates. They can win by either sussing out the imposters or by completing their tasks. These are the two central pieces to the greater story behind Among Us. Now for the crewmates. There's precious little we know about these buggers. All that's directly given to us is that they work for Mira, an Earth-based organization, and that they're sent out to collect data from outer space. The rest we'll have to infer. These Amongrians, they were genetically engineered by human beings. Humans aren't built for space travel. We've got to work out hard just to ensure our muscles and bones they don't atrophy, they don't become as brittle as sticks. Despite that, despite working out a ton, our heads will still bloat up and our vision still gets affected because of prolonged exposure in space. Basically, Earthlings are creatures of Earth. It doesn't make much sense to send such inefficient creatures on long space voyages. So, we made our own space explorers. The Amlangipops. These creatures are 3'6" and weigh a solid 92 pounds or about 42 kilograms. That's a body mass index of 36. A high BMI either indicates obesity or high muscle mass. Just look at these guys, man. They don't look obese at all, which means that under their plushy looking exterior, they're packing some big guns. And also, they have just one bone. As long as that bone is protected, their skeletal structure will be intact. And did I mention the telepathy, the telephones, and the telekinesis? Wait, one of those doesn't fit. Let's just call it mind powers. The most obvious instance of this is their hands. Their floating hands. They're able to control the fingers with remarkable dexterity, like we can see when they're climbing up ladders or pushing buttons. It seems like the hands are physical extensions of themselves, minus the physical part, which leads me to believe they're mind controlled. How do I convert it from hypothesis to certainty though? Stick around to the end of the video and you'll find out. My transitions will be so smooth, they'll call me the Sarjapus Segwayer. Even if someone is killed right in front of them, they don't panic and they never vote someone out undemocratically. And even after death, they're looking out for their comrades by completing tasks and sometimes even saving their lives. The Amangels are like unicorns from Harry Potter. They're so pure and so innocent that if Gandhi was a species, he'd be these guys right here. Which makes what comes next all the more tragic. They are our slaves. Buzz off Jeff Bezos, as the true king of exploitation, claims his throne. Mira HQ is high above Earth. It's where the Amongloops return after their long adventures. The cafeteria, though, is probably the only respectable thing about this company. Mira completely and utterly exploits its employees. In this introductory video to Polus, which is being shown to the crewmates, a kill is literally caught on 4K Ultra HD, and they don't even bother editing it out. They send the crewmates to the murder site with a killer on the loose. The crewmates are completely in their pockets, and Mira knows it. The Amangrubs aren't stupid either. They know they're being used and exploited, but they undertake the mission anyway, despite having loving spouses and children on Earth, or perhaps because of it. Think about this. You're in a room with 9 people, 2 of whom you know are killers. You eject 2 people, and the others yell, "Yeah, we got him, crewmate victory, baby!" How do you know those 2 that were ejected were actually the imposters? In real life, there's no text message that pops up. Can you really trust Lime, who was sus right until he apparently saw red went? There's no definitive way to tell when all the imposters are truly gone. Not for humans, at least. These boys, though, with their purity and their enhanced mental prowess, they have a spidey sense. If there's something malicious, something violent, some killing intent around them, they'll know. They'll just know when someone around them means to cause harm. But they won't know who. Not until the threat is taken out. It's like an old treasure map. Theoretically, X marks the spot, but in actually it roughly marks an island, and you're gonna have to go there and search every square inch before you find the treasure. Except that here, the treasure is a bloodthirsty, parasitic, torso-munching shapeshifter. Which brings us to the imposters. The imposters can almost perfectly imitate crewmates. They can fake most tasks like aligning telescopes, replacing guns, and even navigating airships. Then why is it that they can't empty trash? For some context, imposters can't fake visual tasks. One of them is the most easy task in the game. All you need to do is pull a lever and trash will pop out. If these imposters are so technologically advanced that they can sabotage airships, then why not do this one chore in order to blend in? It's simple. Imposters, they revere nature, the natural order of things. And nobody can mess with that. They believe that if an asteroid is flying across space, let it fly, even if it's about to hit a planet. It's natural, it's nature, and nobody should interrupt that. I feel like nowadays a lot of people understand that mentality, in that we should let nature do as nature does and let man not interfere with her. It makes a bit of sense. These dudes, though, they'll go to any extreme to preserve the sanctity of space. JMC, you're probably thinking. Probably stands for Jabbering Mother. Where's the evidence to back this up? Let me hit you with it. 3 of the 4 visual tasks an imposter cannot perform are blasting asteroids, dumping trash, and shields. Blasting asteroids, like we just discussed, that would mean defiling space. Littering space with trash would be even more unholy. And if a ship is meant to die, let it die, no shields. They could potentially destroy any space debris that collides with the ship. That's a big no-no in the imposter's book. Now, we know their motives, but what are the imposters physically? It's told to us that they're parasitic shapeshifters. If their shapeshifting was all powerful, then they'd simply transform into some giant space dragon and munch down on the airship. The only reason they can't do that is because there's some sort of constraints on their power. The primary constraint being physics, the laws of our universe. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. So a small worm can't just transform into a blue whale, The excess weight will have to come from somewhere. It's the same thing with the imposters. They're probably small parasites that can latch onto a host and they start eating into it and taking the host over. Once that takeover is complete, they eventually become the Omegle, body, memories and all, and are able to transform into other creatures of similar mass, which is why there's the shapeshifter role in Among Us. That's why they don't dare step on the final visual task, Med Scanner. A Med Scan shows the height, the weight and the blood type of the patient. All crewmates are exactly 92 pounds, not a fraction more or less. The imposter, however, is a crewmate infected by a parasite. That means it'll add some extra weight. Even if the parasite is 0.01 pounds, it'll show up as 92.01 and the others will know something's off. After all this, after all my analysis, there was just one unanswered question. Why is it that imposters lose after the tasks are complete? Why don't they continue their killing spree? This was a tough one, guys. There was only one logically consistent explanation that I could come up with. The parasite is not able to take over completely. The crewmate's mind is still there, suppressed, holding on in some dark corner. It wants to die. It wants to save its friends. But something is subliminally holding it back. Those are the tasks. Despite all their good intentions, despite how pure they are, crewmates were bred for one purpose and one purpose alone. They were engineered to finish Mira's tasks. That's its whole purpose in life, and if the tasks are unfinished, it too will be unfulfilled. Only when the tasks are over can it rest in peace. Once the taskbar is full, its last bit of hesitancy vanishes. Tired of all the killing and murder done with its own body, it puts up one last fight. It decides to take its last breath and close that visor forever. So guys, that's been the video. As a little PS, I'll just add that I saw MatPat's video. I love game theory, but I think he was wrong on a few counts. I really want to do this full time, guys, but I need your support for that. And you know how you can support me. It's just one click. I don't have a Patreon or anything, not asking for cash. I think there's only one logical way to end the video.